How is it going, folks? Welcome back to episode number 51 of Park to Prem. Today we are resuming our League One campaign following on from yesterday's FA Cup shenanigans, and today we have a youth intake. Quite when that youth intake's going to happen, I don't know. Is it going to be any good? I also don't know. I mean, apparently it's an excellent intake, but when you look at these grades, dubious. On top of the youth intake, there is other stuff to look forward to. As today we are going to be clashing against Swansea in a rare away day over the border in Wales, and after that, Stockport County at home. Not necessarily two of the sexiest matches in the world, but given our recent form, which hasn't been very good, and in fact you can see here, we're really behind Reading now, we need to turn things around. We need to start winning games. These are two games that should be winnable. Will we win them? Let's find out together. Like I already mentioned, today is episode number 51. Of course, last episode, we ended the episode with a rather big signing, I think it's safe to say, in João Victor. Very, very good player. Worth noting, he did sign for us on an 18-month deal. He did have a one-year contract extension. That was triggered immediately. I really like the look of this guy at 19. It'd be safe to say, though, his performances are leaving a little bit to be desired. I'm going to keep the faith. I feel like defensive midfielders just get done dirty in the match engine anyway. If you are wondering, Jack, did you make any other transfers on deadline day or thereabouts? I did. There were 2 days to get some stuff done after last episode. The first bit, a sale. Mbamba, leaving the building, sold for £1.3 million, a player who was a good squad player for us for a couple of years, brought in on a free, but ultimately, with the new acquisition of Victor, he was kind of the fourth or fifth choice player, so when there was some interest back in Belgium for him, we sold him for over £1 million. I feel like when you consider the net transfer difference between these two players was £900,000 in our favour, it looks like a pretty good deal. There was also another player I picked up, one of those rare moments where, I say it's not rare at all, one of those moments where I see a player with a nationality that I think I've not had one of those before. Here we have Luis Mosquera of Panama, 10 caps to the Panama national team, didn't get a work permit, he's currently on loan in Greece, where he's not doing amazing. But you know what? We've signed him for £45,000. If he turns out to be a Panama wonder kid superstar of the future, amazing. If he doesn't, well, we're paying him £500 a week and we didn't spend too much on him. I'm hoping, though, Lewis gets a work permit eventually and is okay for us. Now, before I talk about this run of games, I do just want to point at the injury history chart. And to be fair, this year we have had a few more injuries than last year, it feels like, until lately where, well, there's been fewer injuries, but the injuries we have had, slightly less than ideal. Of course, at the end of last episode, Goldsmith got injured, a player who's been a very reliable man on off the bench. He missed a whole month of football, and it was a month with a lot of games played in it. And the other man who we've missed for an extended period of time, Jaime Guerrero, a player who was in some tremendous form, got injured, pulled calf muscle, out for 3 weeks, ended up being nearer 4 weeks by the time he was fully fit. A player who we've lent on quite heavily. Safe to say his form following on from his return hasn't been quite as good. Also, he's wanted. I know you're thinking, Jack, who is he wanted by? Everyone, including PSG. I mean, the good news is he's contracted to 2033, so we've got him for 3.5 years. So if anyone wants to make a bid on him, they better make it a bloody good one. We'd be very interested to know down in the comments how much you would sell this guy for. Ultimately, I feel like he's pretty much Premier League quality now, so I'd like to keep him around in an ideal world. If I was going to let him go, as a League One club, would I be mental to expect 10 to 15 million? I feel like that would be a bargain for a team at that price. So like I mentioned, Guerrero's been injured, Goldsmith's been injured, and look at this form. I mean, only one defeat in the run of games since that Man City game at the end of January, but the sad reality is we've drawn far too many. The good news was, though, that following on from that result against Man City, we did get a win to end the month of January. 4-2 result in this one. Soonsup Bell with a brace. For Aronson with a goal as well. Jude in this game playing very, very well. 2 goals to his name. Has been a little bit hit and miss lately, but 8 goals in his last 20 isn't too bad. As for the other goal scorer in our team, for Aronson, I'm wearing the Icelandic shirt, hoping it will inspire him today. He's only got 6 goals in 20, which when you consider he was on like 20 goals after 16 games, he has slowed down a little bit. And maybe that lack of goals could attribute somewhat to our recent downturn in form. That said, I mean, we've not been keeping loads of clean sheets. It's not entirely on the attackers. 1-1 against Burton Albion was disappointing. 2-1 against Bolton Wanderers was close to disastrous. Around this point in the season, though, I basically had to fully rotate the team. In this game here, we rotated things around due to fitness. Unfortunately, we didn't get the result that we needed. I mean, you can see here, it wasn't a disastrous performance, but I gave the kids some time to play. They didn't reward me for it. Silver lining, if we're going to try and find one, Sam Fay is improving a bloody lot. This guy's very good, isn't he? Cool. How good's he going to be in a few years? Very excited for the future. Sam looks absolutely massive. So a failure to win against Burton and Bolton certainly wasn't ideal. So it was great to turn things around with a win against a team towards the top of the table in AFC Wimbledon. Sadly, that upturn in form didn't really last. We drew 2-2 against Huddersfield. 96th minute equaliser for them. And if you're wondering what was the nature of the goal, Jack, I mean, we'll watch it together here. Francis played in Wilson in behind, had an injury, and Zach Keeley on his bum to score for them. I was fuming after that 2-2 draw, so a 4-0 win against Forest Green Rovers made me think maybe we've turned a corner. Maybe things are going to get better. Absolutely not. 2-2 against Huddersfield. In the next game, it got worse from a goal-scoring point of view. Toby Hines, the right winger that we picked up from Colchester, was on the score sheet in this one. Really good start for this game for us. 2-0 up, or rather, no, 1-0 up. We went 2-1 up in a moment, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We got a goal 20 minutes in. Thought that was great. 10 minutes left of the game. They scored to make it 1-1. Yeah, Huddersfield was always going to be a tricky game, so I was annoyed when that went in. However, 91st minute, corner. Masters on, whipping it in. McLaughlin volley. I'm thinking job's done. You know, let's go out and celebrate. No. 1 minute later, 92nd minute. 92nd minute, they scored that. Late goals are going to hurt us this year. Only silver lining really is 2 wins in our last 2 games. Firstly, against Barnsley. Toby Hines with 2 goals in this game. Rotation continuing to be an all-important factor, as you might have noticed by this schedule. January, February, brutal. It is a little bit easier now, and in fact, we have had a week since our most recent game against Shrewsbury. In this game here, 2-1 win. It did take, well, I was going to say the second goal from Nesbitt to get us the result. Again, we conceded in the 92nd minute. We need to stop conceding after the 90-minute mark. That would be ideal. I suppose the only good silver lining to all of this is, despite our very patchy form, we've not actually slipped that far down the lead. Reading have gone off. They're doing their own thing. 7 points ahead of us now with 7 games left of the year. QPR are only 5 points behind us. Just as a reminder, we play them on the last day of the season. They are playing Forest Green at the same time we are away against Swansea. And like I mentioned, despite our patchy form, good news, QPR have been kind of equally as patchy with lots of little 1-0 defeats. What I will point out is they're quite good at keeping clean sheets. They are a team in some good form, so wins in today's games would be nice. The first of those games is Swansea City. They have 1 win in their last 4. They should be very, very beatable. We have got an away day to do as well. We are heading to the Swansea.com stadium. I really question how long it took them to come up with this club name. Let's go do an away day. So for today's away day, we are, somewhat unsurprisingly, heading west to Wales, to Swansea, folks. Yes, it's our first time over in this part of the world. We are heading to the south coast, just west of Cardiff. And in fact, I found it already. It is actually called the Swansea.com Stadium. I feel like I should be deducting points and I've not seen anything yet. Of course, Swansea City, once upon a time of the Premier League, now in this universe at least, down in League One. Firstly, we have to rate the car park. There's a Costa Coffee next door. There's a KFC next door. Do they get points for the river with the nice scenic walk? I feel like I'm going to give them points, and presumably you do just use this car park attached to the shopping centre on away days. I'd be disappointed if they're not doing that, Swansea fans. Also, more car parking to the north. It's some very solid car parking to start. We've got a river, we've got a train. Have we got street view options? Yes, and we can go down every single lane of the car park. It's like they knew I was coming. Here is the Swansea.com Stadium. That is a war crime of a font, isn't it? What is that? We'll say respect that the club shop is just called the club shop, not the superstore. They deserve points for that. That might be the only way they get points today. I'm not going to look at the stadium because I don't want to see the logo. Car park, great accessibility, good parking options as well. Also, we can go and explore the secondary car park. Here is a man or a woman running in the car park. It could be Forrest Gump. I have no idea. Imagine going for your morning jog here. I guess I respect it. Who am I to judge? I'm just some bloke who sits at a desk and talks about Football Manager for a living. Where do you go for your jogs then? Just to the Swansea.com car park. It's not the most scenic of locations. Okay, the stadium from above. I don't want to say it looks like the soulless modern stadium kind of aesthetic, but that's the vibe I'm getting. I mean, at least it's not completely symmetrical. The roof is oddly satisfying for something that no one is ever meant to see from above. There are options in the ground. We'll go to the centre circle. Here we are. Shout out to Neil Kelly, who took this video, or photo, it's a photo, in 2021. Here it is. Oh, it's during social distancing. I hope they've moved the dugout chairs and stuff closer together than this, because this is very impractical. Okay, now we're talking drone footage. I will admit, it does feel like false advertising to have the dot on the stadium for this drone footage, and yet the stadium is over here. But we can enjoy the Welsh countryside and the city of Swansea in all its beauty. Look at this. The seaside over there, I mean, it's nowhere near the football stadium, but at this point, I feel like we need to look for the positives, given the naming convention and such. Car park looks beautiful. Stadium looks beautiful. It almost makes me want to go there, and I feel like I'm being tricked. There was one more dot. Here it is. What have you got for me? Here we are. We're in the stadium, and there is a clip of Manchester United conceding against Swansea. I feel like this is an elaborate prank by a Swansea fan to annoy Manchester United fans. What match is this from? I don't know. Answers on a postcard. Here is the rest of the match day going on. I mean, the stadium actually looks quite nice lit up, but I know, you know what I'm going to say. It does just feel a bit soulless, symmetrical, round. It's not even that big, is it? In the most polite way. It looked bigger from the outside. That's what she said. Someone was thinking it. I'm just, do the thing. Some people are now judging me for that. You are right to do so. Okay, look, the Swansea.com Stadium. Awful name, awful font, decent car park. Stadium was a bit bland. But there was a KFC. 5 out of 10. But I think it's a solid 5. It's a very benchmark of an average away day. Now, it is perhaps worth noting that Swansea's media prediction was to be in the playoffs. They are a very good team on paper. They've just not really been able to put in those performances. So, I'm hoping, in spite of the fact that players like Nkize need a rest, with us playing our best 11 here, we are going to get the result and the win today. They're not in the best of form, as we've already established. We are in good form by comparison. Here is our team, our merry men. We're going into battle. Let's do this. I mean this in the most polite way possible. The stadium almost looks better in the Football Manager match engine. I'm sorry, Swansea. That is insulting. We're finally having the first highlight of this game. It's 20 minutes in. We've had 76% of the ball. Ricky D, can you make something magical happen? There's players in the middle. Ferrarington is one of them. It's the shirt. If he gets a hat-trick now, I'm going to have to wear this shirt every episode. That will get unhygienic quickly. But let's enjoy that. That is a goal that was really nicely worked. I think it was a corner that was initially dealt with. Plenty of players still committed to the attack. Ricky D, just doing Ricky D things, isn't he? Draws 2 men in, drives it into the box low. Ferrarington there to make it an early lead. I'll tell you what, it's a bloody good job we've got a youth intake and a second match today to look forward to. This has been depressing, and we're winning, and I'm saying that. There's 5 minutes left of the half. There's been one highlight, and it was the goal. Football Manager, can you give me something to scream and shout about? No, it can't. I mean, surely the second half can't be worse than the first half, you'd like to think. There's been 2 shots on target after 55 minutes. Soon Bell's playing poorly. You know what, Goldsmith, you're coming back from injury. Come onto the pitch. I am very keen to keep a close eye on condition. I've had a lot of players needing rests and actually having to rest them because of that. Obviously, that is just a brutal part of this kind of schedule. João Victor's not having a great game as well, so I think we'll bring in Stuart Masters. Guerrero, not playing amazing. Toby Hines, as of late, has been in some really good form. So you know what? We'll bring him in to be the trequartista. I do feel like since Guerrero's injury, he's just not quite been the same. I don't know if you've noticed this in Football Manager playing it. Sometimes players get an injury and then, I don't know, it just takes them a little while to get back up to speed. I feel like that's something that's happening with Guerrero here. And well, for a moment, I thought Swansea were going to score completely against the run of play. The header's gone over, but suddenly a flurry of highlights. All it took was a couple of subs to be made by ourselves, and I think them at half-time, to be fair. Goldsmith, Morgan driven in. It's another low cross in that finds its way to Ferrarington. He's got 2. It's the shirt, isn't it? It is the shirt. We'll all just agree that now. Decent build-up initially here. Goldsmith working with Morgan. Morgan put it in. It found its way somehow through the defence, but Ferrarington in the right place at the right time. Doubles our lead. breathe a sigh of relief. I feel like this is a game that we should just win now. I mean, it's not pretty, it's not a sexy way to get results, but there's 5 minutes left here, and I think we've had 3 or 4 highlights in the entire game. Very uncharacteristic for rugby. We've still got another game to turn it around. There is 4 minutes of added time here. They're just going to come and go. I mean, I kind of feel sorry for the away fans that came all the way to watch this game. They've witnessed a very one-sided affair, but ultimately, we got the result, and that's what we should be happy about. The question now is, did QPR get their result? Because if they didn't, that would be amazing for us. They won 4-1. They're still 5 points behind us with 6 games left, and we play them on the final day. They're still there, they're still breathing down our necks, and I do not like it. We have just officially confirmed a playoff spot, so that's something to be excited about. Playoffs at the very least, nice. I mean, deep down inside, I'm still secretly hoping that we can maybe turn around the 4-point deficit on Reading, but that would rely on them dropping some points, and given their recent form, they don't really look like dropping points. Anyway, we have got a second game today, Stockport County. This should be a slightly more straightforward game, I'd like to think. Again, a team with a media prediction higher than their current position. They've had a bit of a struggle this year, but last year they did finish, you can see, up in 5th place in League One. A team we have to respect, even if they've not won in their last 5 games. They love goals here at Stockport. It should be a classic. Hopefully it's better than the last one. Also, obviously if the youth intake happens sooner, we'll come back for that ahead of this game. Okay, well, the youth intake came before the Stockport game. It's not a good youth intake. I was really hoping for something good. I feel like we've been on a roll. Maybe my expectations are unreasonably high, and maybe some of these players will just develop out of nowhere. I mean, players like Eddie McLean, he could be good. He's a centre-back with 6 jumping reach. I mean, Martin Wilson has like the mould of a centre-back, but just needs to improve a lot. But ultimately, there is no one considered an elite talent. There is no one to get super duper excited about. I will say though, in defence of all these players that kind of have 3.5 star to 4 star ability, some of them could just improve out of nowhere, and I've actually got an example of that from a recent intake. That man is Deal Washbourne. If you're sat thinking, I don't remember this guy. Yeah, I don't really remember him either. He was in a youth intake 2 years ago, but he is now considered one of our best young players. You can already see he's improved an absolute metric ton lately, but if we just look at his all-time development, I mean, you can see here, it's been absolutely ridiculous. I think one issue that we have here at Rugby Town is due to our reputation, a lot of players generate at us with low current ability, but actually, because of our youth recruitment, obviously our facilities, players can have good potential but low current ability, and the challenge is really trying to fulfill that. Maybe Washbourne is an example of the kind of player who with 3.5 star potential ability could still be fairly serviceable for the first team. That is all to say, I'm not really excited about anyone here, but if anyone turns out to be good, I'll start screaming and shouting their name in the next year or two. I mean, so far it's been a mid-youth intake and a weird game against Swansea. Stockport County, there was a lot riding on you in this next one. It's still 2 days away. Yeah, I'll go away editing Jack with the magic of editing. Get us to game day. Okay, game 2, Stockport. Let's be honest, so far today's episode, it's been one of the episodes of all time. Let's make it a little bit better. If we could get a result and Port Vale do us a favour over QPR, we could move into a really good position to get that automatic promotion spot. Reading we're still keeping an eye on. If they want to drop points away against Wigan in 11th, that would be nice too. Ultimately, however, we just kind of have to focus on doing our own job. Now, the game that we just played was 3 days ago. I rested up the players, and yet it's still not enough for everyone. There are some players with fitness levels struggling. The likes of Ngoma, who, on the one hand, I kind of want to risk, but also knowing his history with injuries, it's the kind of game where I'm going to put some faith in players like Sam Fay, players who have excelled at this level, who have proven themselves to be reliable League One players to step up. He is going to come into the team. Elsewhere, I look at Ryan Morgan at left back, don't love what I'm seeing. Chambers, who, to be honest, I thought was going to be the main man at left back this year and has just dropped down the pecking order. He is the main man today. And looking at other tired players here, you know what, Timmy, you have a rest. Stuart Masters, on you come. Ricky D maybe needs a rest too. He doesn't get a rest because it's Ricky D. He's too important to drop. Although if I was going to drop him, I think I'd probably end up playing João Victor at right back and then just moving in one of our defensive midfielders. I have been thinking about the future of Ricky D, given the financial interest in him and his value being as high as it is at 6.4 to 7.8 million. If I was going to let him go, João Victor is a bit of a no-brainer, isn't he, to just move in to play right back. I mean, when you look at it like this, maybe I should be selling Ricky D in the summer, but it's the sentimental value. That cannot be replaced with money. Anyway, team submitted for this one. Let's get into it. It's a big game for us. Stockport at home, though. We should be winning this in front of our home fans. Oh my God, we have a kit clash. Ladies and gentlemen, is this the worst kit clash ever? This is pretty bad, isn't it? Football Manager? I mean, here's the two shades of colour. Can anyone tell what's happening here? This reminds me of when I play EAFC and I don't double check the kits in squad battles. Louis Barry scored for them. I'm confused. I'm just going to assume our defenders are confused as well. Also, how mad is it that Louis Barry is playing in League One in this save game for Stockport? I remember when he had some mad potential in Football Manager, and I think it was Villa fans who really saw him as the next big thing. He is wearing the captain's armband, to be fair, so maybe he is good. Here is Louis Barry. You can see here, did play for Aston Villa. Barcelona as well, once upon a time. He's been at Stockport for the last 5 years. Is he good for this level? Yeah, he's pretty good. Now, let's be honest, this is a minor issue, isn't it, this kit clash? I'm going to try going to 2D and hope that it solves the problem, but I'm a bit worried based on the shades of blue and whatever Stockport's kit are, this might not solve the problem at all. Maybe I've just picked the worst game ever to come back for on a live commentary. That is entirely possible. Actually, you know what? In 2D, it's a bit better because you have the white numbers and the black numbers. 2D massive, enjoy this. We've had more kit clashes than last year's Part to Prem, I feel like already in this save game. Something about baby blue, I guess. Anyway, we need to bounce back here. Sam, you're through. In the middle, dinks the keeper. Sam Fay, I'm going to enjoy that goal in 3D, I can already tell. The youngster coming in for Ngoma today, rewarding that faith in him. João Victor gave it to Masters, Soonsup Bell, for Aronson, Fay, nice little touch out his feet, got past one, dinked the keeper. That was quite sexy, wasn't it? Okay, throwing on the far side, Chambers, inside to Fay, who's causing all kinds of issues for them at the moment. And speaking of the devil, he's played it inside there. On this occasion, though, Stockport do at least deal with it initially. We've got them penned back, though. Suleimana with the ball now for them. Simway looking to bring it out from the back. Udo now with it. I am terrified about Barry, by the way. He looked very, very good, and he's been playing well in this game so far. Stockport knocking the ball around nicely, but we win it back in a nice area. Now Jude. Cutting inside, runners left and right. João Victor is one of them. He has options to his left. Instead, he goes back to Masters. The two CDMs linking up. Ricky D inside. For Aronson goes down in a heap. I was expecting a penalty. It's not been given, but the ball's in a dangerous area. And Guerrero's shot is denied. That was an opportunity for the Spaniard to come back with a bang. He has not put in a good performance lately. That was a big chance missed, I can't help but think. And, well, I was thinking maybe there's going to be another highlight. No, it just ends. That was the chance. Now, to be fair, if you look at the stats in the top corner here, Stockport County have had one shot on goal. It is the goal that they've scored. They've been on the back foot since they've gone ahead, but we need to get this second goal whilst we're in this position where we're generating a lot of opportunities. We need to find that finesse, that final touch. Could it come in here? Not with Soonsup Bell's headed attempt, but Chambers now at left back. Got a bit of a point to prove maybe here. He cuts inside, gives it to Sam Fay. His shot deflects, but it hits the back of the net. It makes it 2-1. And, I mean, friendship ended with Ngoma. Fay's my new best friend. This clearance here by Simway was absolutely tragic. Chambers picked it up in a good little area. The left back, I told you he had a point to prove coming back into the team for Morgan. And, well, he has technically got an assist there. Fay, though, definitely did the heavy lifting. João Victor, free kick from range. Goes short to Gasperi. Masters is there. Is he onside? If he's onside, it's the best set-piece routine ever. I look like a genius. I mean, let's be honest, the players have come up with this themselves, but I want to just pretend that I'm the man who's come up with that move. Imagine if you can make your players actually do routines like that. That is the next step with the current set-piece creator, isn't it? I mean, it's not even half-time here. It's 3-1. It is an all-action game. There could be more as well here. For Aronson, lays it back to Ricky D. João Victor, Guerrero, shoots! Just over 4 minutes of added time at the end of this half. There could still be more. Guerrero, he took that initial effort. I think it was saved over the crossbar. He is now over the corner, whipping it towards the back stick. Jude is there to mop up the pieces. Edge of the box, shoots. Scores. 4-1. It's not half time yet. I think this game is done. Guerrero put the ball in initially. It was headed away, but I'll tell you what, Soonsup Bell, he was afforded time and space at the edge of the box. He shoots at a conquo for them. Not with the most inspiring of saves. Okay, 4-1 up at the break. Really, really happy with that performance so far. It's not been entirely flawless, but when you look at the ratings across the board, people have turned up. There was a couple of players I was concerned about from a fitness point of view. One of them was Ricky D. I'm going to bring in Sean Nesbitt to play at right back for him. I need to save Ricky D's legs in a game like this where I think the heavy lifting and the difficult job is done. Toby Hines is going to come in for Guerrero as well. Yeah, again, just about resting the big players in this game. We're 4-1 up. We dropped Ngoma before the game. That's looking like a really good decision now with what's going on here. There was maybe a couple of other players that maybe I could have taken off. They are no longer on the pitch. going to hope that's not going to cost us, as Stockport look to create something, so maybe set the tone for the half. It's been headed over. I think Keeley had it covered. Don't like seeing that right away. Just looking at the other scorelines here, QPR are 3-1 up, Reading a goal up. As things stand, we remain in second. They've got a corner here. I mean, we were 4-1 up at half-time. We've not exactly started, nor continued this second half, I should say, really, after 70 minutes, in a particularly inspiring kind of vein of form. They're on the attack here as well. Hogg plays it inside. There is so much time and space in the middle. We deserve to concede there. That is shocking defending. There was kind of the initial corner here, and it's almost difficult to tell because of the kit situation, but I mean, this man here has no one closing him down whatsoever. Keeley offered no assistance there. Not his fault. Why is there a free kick? Why is there a free kick? If they score this, it's 4-3. Oh my word. Keeley makes the save. It falls straight to Jaden Davidson. And I was hoping it was going to be offside. It is going to be offside. Okay, it's hard to tell in 2D what the linesman's doing. You can sometimes tell in 3D. We've been let off the hook there. 3 minutes of added time at the end of this game. It's not been quite as straightforward as it should have been, has it? I bet if we look at the XG story of this game, it's mental. I mean, look at that. We were doing so well in the first half. Then we just chilled out. I feel like that's what I get for telling the players I was happy with them at half time. Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh my word. Reading just drew against Wigan Athletic. Wigan scored in the 91st minute. Mr. Voice, you are a beautiful man. How has he scored against them? He is awful. He scored in League One. Interesting. So with the results there, we actually go 2 points behind Reading all of a sudden, which is crazy. QPR did end up winning 3-1, of course. QPR have this crazy budget, very good team, but we have got this 5-point gap to them. We will be playing them on the last day of the season, though. And I suppose with that, we should discuss what the plan is for the end of the season. We have 5 games left. Sheffield Wednesday, Wigan. Our last 3 games are against Bolton and Salford, who are in 6th and 7th, and then QPR. Naturally, I think next episode we're probably coming back for a triple header, or until we secure promotion and maybe win the league. Next episode we will be ending the year, that is a certainty. Sadly, the youth intake today wasn't the most exciting by very high Rugby Town standards, but you know what? We put in some good performances, we got some much needed wins, and suddenly 4 wins in a row, it looks like we're playing okay. Next time out, we are going to be ending the League One season with a bang. I hope to see you guys for it. Until then, take things easy. It is me, Jack. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.